Borderline personality disorder. What is borderline personality disorder really at the heart of it? Is it a mental condition caused by abuse and trauma? Or is it some kind of chemical that's gone haywire? Maybe a lack of chemical? Could be. Nobody really knows. Maybe it's two monkeys hammering some drums together out in the forest. Just two little monkeys just banging a drum, banging a drum. Maybe. It could be. You can't tell me it's not. Show me some proof that it's not a monkey out there banging a drum. You're confused, I'm sure. I don't have many clothes. I'm not into clothing, or do I have the fundage to afford clothing? I don't know how to make clothing, so I cannot make my own clothing. I cannot buy clothing. You're asking, how do you get clothing? Mostly from people around me. No one wants to see me running around naked. I don't care for clothing. I personally could take it or leave it. People don't like looking at me for some reason. Every time I need clothing, I will just start running around naked. People give me some clothes. Those clothes usually last for a little while. Never my size though. It's never too. It's always too small, too big. Always looks like I'm wearing other people's clothing. And it's not normally their good stuff they give me. They don't usually give me their best outfits. The last time my wardrobe was updated was when I was homeless. I had no clothing. I was at the shelter. They wanted me to have clothes. So the shelter themselves, they had a room for just a situation like that, where about 85% of my wardrobe to this very day, came from. I'm not sure if you're up to date with homeless fashion. It's kind of an underground market. This is the thing that's weird, right? People give me clothes because they don't want me running around naked. I feel more embarrassed and ashamed wearing the nasty ass clothes and stuff that people give me so they don't have to see me naked than I do when I'm running around naked. Unfortunately, I've been over, what's that called where you voted? I've been voted out because this is apparently one of those democratizations or something. Majority says, well, everyone except me says that I should be wearing clothing if I'm around people. Except for me, I don't care, but I'm not the majority. So guess what? That's why you see me in great shit like this. All that talking got my throat so dry. Time to take a drink out of my custom-made Mr. BPD coffee mug. I can't tell you how many times I have company over, and I get complimented on this. Authentic, handmade, custom Mr. BPD coffee mug that can easily be ordered following the link in the description. Just like Grandma used to make. A thrift store that came to the shelter and gave out vouchers so you could go to their store and get clothing for people that didn't have clothing. Very nice, right? You'd think. To get this voucher for free clothing, and it was a voucher that was worth $50 of clothing at a thrift shop. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking something like maybe Goodwill. For any of you that know about, I think Goodwill's taken over the world, so I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't know what just in case someone doesn't know what a Goodwill is. A Goodwill is a store that will take your stuff that you don't want, won't pay you for it, nothing. If you're lucky, they'll give you something that you can use for a tax write-off. It's pointless. Mostly poor people are going to these Goodwills, and mostly poor people are giving stuff to Goodwill. It's this vicious cycle. Poor people don't make enough money for those little tax write-offs to mean anything. When you take your stack into the tax man, and you got your little tax receipts for your Goodwill donations, and they're going through and looking, okay, so you donated to Goodwill, and it looks like you gave them one broken leg lamp, some Q-tips, a broken remote control, and what might have been a Nintendo system. Then they go to the next one. All right, you gave them a bunch of ripped up clothing. Not me, of course, because I wouldn't have clothing to give them. They go through all these receipts of the broken, useless crap that you've given to Goodwill. It doesn't matter because you are so freaking poor anyway that you don't do taxes. You don't have to pay taxes. You get it all back. That's how poor you are. They realize that it's mean to take money from you because you don't have anything. They already take enough, right? Plus, I mean, it would be pointless to take your tax money, right? Your refund, you're most likely already getting state help, government help, so you're already contributing to this problem. Your taxes would be, the taxes are what's paying for your little programs. See, it wouldn't make sense. It would cost them more to tax you. So you don't need all the tax write-offs. It doesn't matter. Goodwill takes your stuff and gives you a pointless piece of paper. Then they sell it for a ridiculously outrageous amount of money. Almost the price of something new. That's how they make a profit. And I think they don't even pay taxes or something. I'm not sure though. You're probably thinking that's the kind of a establishment I went to with my voucher. No, the thrift store that was willing to give away $50 in clothing was a very small little building that had some of the nicest, cheapest clothing I've ever ran across. I was amazed. It made the 5 hours I had to sit waiting to get the voucher almost seem like it was worth it. To obtain one of these vouchers, once a month at the shelter, these people would come in and give them out. They would not give out an unlimited amount of vouchers. They would give out as many vouchers as they could give out in a 2-hour period of time. Once the 2 hours were over, they packed up and they left, and they wouldn't be back for another month. It was a first come, first get type situation. You did not have to be a person staying at the shelter to receive these vouchers. They were good for anybody. You could be some rich jerk off out there. That money falling out of your butthole, all right? Your butthole literally has money falling out of it. If you're there in that 2 hours and are first or get in to see them, they will still give you the same voucher. The day that the vouchers are given out, everybody knows. It's like waiting for the iPhone, but for poor people. Barely made it. It was 3 minutes till the 2 hours was up when I got called. Barely squeaked by as the last person to get my voucher. It's a pain in the butt. Don't think that they just give you a $50 voucher and you don't work for it. You work for it. You got to beat everybody else to get it. It's for the amusement of making poor people have to do this stuff and jump through these little hoops so that they can get their little voucher from the thrift shop people. Pants that fit that look good for $3, and if I got a $50 voucher, I'm finding these nice shirts, good hoodies, socks, all these great stuff, taking it up to the counter. I've got a stack of, I'm not kidding you, the whole counter was this clothing that I was going to get with my $50 voucher. Stuff I actually liked. I wouldn't have been ashamed wearing. Then the lady comes up to me and she, do you have one of the vouchers? Oh, yeah. And there was only one day out of the week that you could take your voucher in. There was one day out of the week for 1 hour that would be announced randomly that you could actually cash in your magic voucher. Yes, I am. I got all my clothes. I'm ready. Then she informed me, these clothes are not eligible for the voucher. The voucher clothing are right in that other room there. I didn't know there was another room. I go in the other room. I shit you not. There was barren shelves. There'd be a shelf with maybe one half of a pant. Another shelf that might have a sleeve to a t-shirt. All of the other 9 people that had also received a voucher are crammed back there. They were the worst clothing I've ever seen. It made no sense. Like I was saying, half of a pant, one red sleeve to a shirt. And then I realized how they could give out these vouchers. Because at the end of the day, it's one big ol' F you to the poor people. You make them wait forever, hoping to get this voucher so they can get some clothes. You make it really hard to do. Then you set it up where there's only one day out of the week, 1 hour that you can cash it in, which is announced randomly. So you gotta be on your toes. Then you present them with all of this great, awesome, it's like a dream come true. It's like for once in this poor person's life, things are going their way. They might be in a shelter. Nobody loves them anymore. They smell like piss. But today they're going to feel like a human being. They get all happy. A little bit maybe of that feeling of being a member of society might return to them. You let them get all their stuff. That's when you drop the bombshell. That's when the punchline comes in, where you point them to the voucher room, or they get to go into the voucher room and realize that all of their work and everything amounted to nothing, because at the end of it, there's nothing there, nothing at all. Maybe half a pant or a red sleeve to a shirt. And that is why you should definitely hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit that ring-a-ding-ding bell, that notification bell, or even though you said you subscribed, this is somebody I want to be watching their videos. They're not going to tell you because YouTube doesn't understand that people, when they subscribe, that means I want to know when they make videos. No, they don't like that. They think, oh, well, they subscribed because, who knows? Hey, make them ring the bell, then we'll really know. Next, you'll have to subscribe, ring a bell, write a written form saying you like my videos. You don't have to do that yet. Now, you just have to ring the bell. So it's quite easy, because later you're going to have to write a note. So you might as well do it now if you've got to write a note. Yeah. And contrary to popular belief, YouTubers actually do not make any kind of money from YouTube. Only shows that are owned by big corporations like Walt Disney actually make money on YouTube. But if you'd like to support this channel, help us out, give us a few bucks because you find us funny, or we changed your life, saved your marriage, maybe helped you to decide to have that kid or not have that kid, you can do that through PayPal. There's a link to that also in the description. Until next time, keep on keeping on. Run for your life, it's a spider! Get out of here! Just remember, there's no such thing as free clothing. Goodwill Halloween!